Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's great. It's the best time I've ever had.
Carnival atmosphere.
It's great. Can't compare it, really.
I'll be here every year.
Well, it started back, actually it was in a motel room about 12 years ago in Reno, in a hotel in Reno. I think it was Harrah's or one of them. And it was Mason Williams, the famous gun writer, and Alex Jason, the famous movie maker, and myself. And we were just discussing the various possibilities of what kind of a pin shoot, other than the obvious paper target punching. We could have some kind of reaction target, some kind of steel plates that would fall down. And that was seriously considered. Steel plates would fall down, or wooden planks that would fall down, such that you would need a large caliber, high energy bullet. The same bullet that would be sufficient to help you survive a gunfight in a dark alley would be also what you would need to win this contest. Bowling pins, rather than steel targets, which would simply flop over every time you hit them, the bowling pins will, as you saw here in this movie, spin out, go every which way, sometimes knock other pins over. You fire the first shot and suddenly everybody looks like all the pins are running for cover. That happens occasionally in a gunfight. And the more and more that this has gone on, the more and more realistic in many ways that it seems. Very realistic things. In many cases, we've seen guys hit pins 3, 4, 5 times before they clear it off the table. And yet, in some rare occasions, we've seen guys fire one shot and clear 2 or 3 pins off. And occasionally that happens in a gunfight. You fire one shot, the one bad guy drops dead, and the other guys go, oh my God, don't shoot me. So that can happen. Don't count on it, but it could happen. If you ever look at the old official Colt FBI target, the silhouette of a man standing there, you know, his hand on his hip, well, look at the kill zone of that. It looks like a great big bowling pin. And the kill zone of a human being is actually very, very similar to the shape of a bowling pin. The wide part of the head and then the narrow part of the neck and a very wide part of the body. So it's just a happy accident that it works out.
Hey, Mike, you won last year.
Yes.
The time of, what was your time?
18.6.
18.6. What are you going to do this year?
Just go up and watch the sights and let the sights dictate the string. If the sights line up and working the trigger good, and hopefully we'll get an 18.6 run.
On the line, you can load them up.
You can't force bowling pin shooting. It's strictly letting the sights dictate what's going on.
Well, why can you shoot faster than most people?
Don't. A lot of practice and working on speed shooting and a good solid stance. Staying locked up behind the gun, get a good foundation behind it. And
Money talks.
being probably blessed with good hand-eye coordination and muscle reflexes.
And are you nervous before you go on?
Not really. I get a little bit of adrenaline rush, but as far as getting the knees shaking, no.
Well, what do you tell yourself when you get up to the line?
I try to go up, think about what I'm going to do. Watch sights.
More guys want to sign up for Master Blaster shoot-off. You don't have to be a Master Blaster.
I'll lower the gun down the rail, just completely forget about everything. Just try to be
and I've seen it happen, actually. We had...
Well, this is a really unusual shooting competition event, isn't it?
It's an unusual shooting competition, yes. I don't know of any other matches that are held quite in this informal a manner, yet with still some very good and strong safety rules. It's a very good match, a very good place where people can come and shoot and have a good relaxing time. Most other competition, you'll find a lot of tension in the air. At this one, there's everything to relieve the tension.
The difference between a joke and a sight gag. A joke is where you get something funny.
Foster and Roy!
Where you guys?
And you see a lot of family people out here, which really I support. I think shooting is both a man and wife affair, and the whole family can have it. And Richard's got some playgrounds here for the kids. He's got a little bit for everybody. Got prizes for the ladies. I think it really speaks well of him and his thoughtfulness in the organization.
Oh, hi. It's good to be the king. See you later, girls. Anyway, we've got to explain the pin set here. This is a basic 5-pin set. We've got white dots here where the girls can quickly and easily put the pins in the correct spot for the guys to shoot them. These pins are, the center line of them is 3 feet from the back edge of the table. So the whole basic idea of this contest is that you do not have to have super special equipment. No massive bull barrel, bullseye guns or anything like that. An MP can jump out of his Jeep with a .45 in his hand, plain vanilla, fixed sights, hardball ammo, hit that pin, and that's gone.
Shooters, ready?
Hit it, it's gone. If you miss it, it isn't. If you nick it on the edge, it starts rolling. Then you got trouble. Hit it over here sometimes, and it goes, yeah, you got trouble. You knock pins over. So, you want to hit the white part. This is the basic 2-man team event set. We've got 10 pins. They're all set here on these red dots. They're only 2.5 feet from the back edge. There's nothing scientific about that. The main thing is we didn't want to confuse the red dots with the white dots. For the revolver event, 2 revolver events, we just simply shoot these, 8 pins. In the revolver events, a man has a 6-shot revolver, 6 shots only. These guys are amazing. They'll build 8, 9, 10-shot revolvers if you give them a chance, but we said 6-shot revolver only, and they have to, of course, speed load. It is possible, it has been done, where a guy would clear these 8 pins, believe it or not, with 6 shots. Bill Wilson did it last year. He hit the first 5, his 6th shot hit this pin, and it just rolled over like that, and they all very slowly fell off, just about like that. Bill Wilson was down here working with his speed loader. He comes up, and they're all gone. He turns and looks at me, real accusing, like I pulled something on him with a silent 22 or something. And I said, no, Bill, looks like you won. And he did. Luck of the draw. Back here you have the 9-pin set. This is for basically a 9mm, which 9mm is becoming more and more popular, rightly or wrongly, with American police and military. In the 9mm event, all you have to do is knock the pins 1 foot. That's about all 9mm is good for. A 9mm will not knock a pin dependably 2.5 or 3 feet back. Once in a while, we get some guy come up here with a 38 Super Auto with 130 or even 140 grain bullets and try to do it. It doesn't work. For some reason, they just don't have the energy.
Cameras ready. Guns on rail. Shooters ready. Okay, you get to throw away your worst time. The advantage course has 4 good times, 1 bad time, 3 good times, 1 bad time. Now, table 5, 2, 5, 8, 11. Ready to roll, 2, 5, 8, 11. Okay, timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, one more time. 3, 6 times 12. All set then. 3, 6 times 12. Timers are ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
one of my favorite jokes that my Jewish hot dog man told me. 80-year-old Jewish man goes in this house of ill repute and says, "I want the best girl what you got." And the madam says, "Well, look at Gramps, I'm sorry, you just can't handle it here." He says, "I give you $1,000. She says, "All right, give you the best girl."
He said that there's a new Ethiopian candy scratch doll. Okay. Says little Velcro flies you stick all over. All set to go then. 1, 4, 7, 10. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, didn't do bad maybe. Okay, slide on over. 2, 5, 8, 11. Okay. Okay. Ready on 2, ready on 5, 8 and 11. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. All set then. Stuff on in. You ready down there at 12? Okay, timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Oh, fast time there, table 9. What do you have, girls? A 4.2 there, table 9. Very good.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Not real well.
What happened?
Didn't watch the front sight.
You had some good times,
It's good.
and you had some couple of slow
Couple
times.
of bad ones too.
But you know why you did badly when you did badly?
No concentration, for one thing.
It's front sight.
That's really what it is.
How do you like shooting pins?
Love it. Love it.
What do you think of this match compared to a lot of other matches?
Love it. One of the better.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
Everything.
Everything?
Prizes, food, good time. Excellent.
I'm into my house of ill repute.
Now, what have you got? A couple of guns, a couple of rounds of ammo in there?
Well, we just came from Detroit.
Is this your normal
We
load?
were going downtown, but we made a left turn. We thought we'd come up north. What the heck? I don't got about 2,000 pounds of ammunition in the back.
2,000 pounds?
I got 110 pounds of air in my airlift, and the back end's going. We've got some cans in the front seat sort of balance the load because you can't steer.
Hot climate, huh?
Summer camping gear for Detroit.
What's in there? What's in there?
More
A
ammo,
bikini?
2, 3.
He's ready. That's what I call prepared.
More ammo.
Well, you killed the grass.
There's no one alive laying on the lawn.
Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, shuffle on over to 2, 5, 8, and 11. And we'll do it again. That's right. Okay, shuffle on in. We're ready to go. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Ah, boy, that thing, table 8, that pin hung on like a hemorrhoid there. Okay, 3, 6, 9, and 12. One more time. Bruce Gray, gunsmith extraordinaire. Where'd he go?
Okay.
Last time, let's make it good.
One more time. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, slides back, cylinders open. Do it left, hold this one. Shot. Right. No, come on. Hey, sorry. Shooter up here. Says I may not be perfect, but parts of me. Oh my goodness. I may not be perfect. This must be how it must be to be a nightclub act in downtown Beirut, you know? Says I may not be perfect, but parts of me are excellent. And the question is, what parts, Audrey? Her brain, okay. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Pin died. There you go. The lady start him up. Yay!
Goes up there with the girl, and he says, takes his clothes off, and the girl looks at him, and there's just, you know, nothing more than a little nub there. She says, look, Gramps here, great Gramps, whatever. I've had a lot of experience with a lot of guys, and I've done a lot of things, but I just don't think I can do anything for you. You're just too old for me. He says, you should not worry, you should not worry. I have gotten it trained. I've gotten it trained. Every time I am snapping my fingers, it is growing an inch.
Okay, grasp the weapons. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
How long have you been doing this, Priscilla? How many years?
5 years.
5 years. You gonna come next year?
Hopefully.
Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Here a couple years ago, we said we got here at Second Chance. We got an event for practically everything. We got an event for rifles, shotguns, 2-man teams, 3-man teams, revolver events for short barrel, long barrel revolvers. We got mixed doubles events for men and women, women's events. We got an event, folks, for practically everything except premature ejaculation. But I'll give you a little secret. I said back in '83, that's coming quickly. And sure enough, in 1984, we had this event we started. We call it the premature ejaculation event. When you see it fired, you kind of realize why that name kind of fits.
Take your time now. Get down to the bottom of the trigger. 1 too many. Targets. Okay, on this particular year, there's 4 moving targets. The perfect score can be reached by hitting 2 of the targets 6 times, 2 of the targets 8 times, and then holding back 2 rounds for 2 bowling pins, which get added into the score as bonus points. Any room there, Johnny? And then the whole thing is multiplied together so that we have a final score of somewhere close to 74,000 points would be the perfect score. How big is the computer that does all this? Pocket-sized calculator. Is that right? It sounds very complicated. No, it's not bad. Well, how can you possibly remember how many shots you got on each target? Well, what the purpose of the thing for the fellows that shoot it is to get a burst control pattern. They can't count the shots, of course, but they can get a feel for burst control.
recently gone into business selling cardboard bowling pin targets.
How do they sell?
They've been going very well. I've sold about 2,000 of them this week.
2,000. How much do they cost?
$20 for 100 targets.
Rocks.
And how much are the rocks?
A dime.
Where do you get them from?
Ground.
How many have you sold today?
I don't know because I didn't count them.
Well, have you made a lot of money?
Yes, $5.
Selling rocks?
Yes.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
An electrical engineer.
Don't you think you should get into sales? I think you're a good salesman. You sell things well.
Yes.
What's your name?
Blaze Brody Schatzel.
And how old are you?
5 3/4.
5 and which 3/4?
3/4 of a year.
Very good. Show me one of your most expensive rocks.
They're all the same.
Oh, well, which rocks do people like best? Which type?
Most of the red ones and the brown ones.
Which ones do you like best?
I like the brown ones.
Now, are you going to give all this money to Richard Davis?
The rocks were found outside of that, and I don't know, and I positively don't know who got them.
But don't you think you should share this money with Richard Davis?
I will, but I have a lot. And you know something?
What?
You know that it would be extra hard for me to end up for getting. It would be extra hard to find more rocks.
And you're the only guy who really sets up a gunsmithing shop here. You bring everything.
Everything but the Bridgeport end mill. And a clean floor. I got dust everywhere.
And what's the most common repair you do out here, or job you do out here?
Probably failures to feed. And 90% of that's can be attributed to bad magazines or bad ammo or improper lubrication.
So when someone brings in a gun that's not feeding well, what do? You just oil it and charge them $50 and send them home?
No. I do take it apart and check the feed throat on the barrel and the feed throat in the frame, and examine their magazines, ask to see their ammunition, find out what weight of recoil spring they're using, go through the basic things that you look for, bad extractors, rough burrs, any little thing that can stop them.
Well, this is sort of counseling, isn't it? Like shooting counselor?
Yeah, more than not, yes, that's true. That's true.
BC on the back range. This is the shotgun range. Now, this was originally called the BC because it stood for Bonsai Charge Bang and Clang. In the original days of when this was started, you had to go out and set up your own targets down here. You had to run down, pick up each steel target and prop it up on a table. Well, that got a little too strenuous for most people, so we changed it to pop-up targets. These were pulled up by cable. Now, the competitor must start right here at this bench with a shotgun, a pump or auto shotgun, with 5 rounds loaded, no more than 5 rounds. When the whistle starts or the beeper starts,
he can load as many rounds as he wants, or he can start shooting. First thing you do is you shoot down these 7 targets, the far ones out there where the girl's painting the targets, and the close 3. Any order. You can shoot close or you can shoot far first, doesn't matter. Once those are knocked down, then you can move. We move down to the next table. Generally, the guy's running along here. We make them have their finger out of the trigger guard to keep it safe. We get down here. With the shotgun, he must take out those 3 steel targets that are up there. Then he puts his shotgun down. He picks up this skeet gun. Now this is a double-barreled skeet gun, which only will fire 1 shot. That's all you get here. You pick this up, you yell pull, and Gary over there will pull the thrower, shooting a skeet into the air. The skeet goes up in the air. If you get that with 1 shot and 1 shot only, you get 10 seconds off your time. That's a hell of an advantage. You can't win without getting the skeet. Then you put the skeet gun down, and you move on to the next table as fast as you can. From here, you pick up a hand grenade. Give me a hand grenade, please, Amy. One of these are heavy steel practice grenades. They're quite heavy, and it takes a lot to throw them. Thank you. This is one of the lighter ones we have. You throw this hand grenade down there at the barrel. Now, if you hit the outside, the wood portion, you get 5 seconds off your time. If you get it into the barrel, that's 10 seconds. So having thrown the grenade, you then pick up your handgun, which is laying here. You've already had your handgun placed on this mat, loaded. You pick up your handgun, shoot the 3 steel white bowling pins there, and then the stop plate. And the stop plate is what stops the electronic timer, and that gives you your time. So you have a possible 20 seconds off your total time. You get 10 seconds off for the skeet and 10 seconds off if you get the grenade into the barrel. It's very hard to do, but a lot of people hit the wood for 5 seconds. You really don't have much of a chance of winning if you don't get at least 5 seconds off on the grenade. That's the BC, at least the way we have it this year. Next year we may have something newer, but the basic BC will remain. Hey, Gene, you won this thing last year. What are you going to do this year?
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here trying to do it again.
What's your best time so far?
Pardon me? I think it's around 21-3. I'm in 3rd right now, and I got a few more runs.
What's your strategy?
There's not too much strategy here. You know, you just have to, you got to get the long tanks and get the grenade. The grenade's the key to this game.
And why can you throw that grenade so well?
Pardon me?
Why can you throw that grenade so well?
Well, I don't know. I've thrown a lot of baseballs. I guess maybe that helps.
What kind of equipment are you using?
I'm using a Browning A5 with a 10-shot magazine extension.
And what kind of compensator is that?
That's really not a compensator. It's like a muzzle suppressor. It helps divert some of the gas up in the air so the gun doesn't recoil up as much as it would without it.
What do you do on your trigger now? Do you slap that trigger?
At times, yeah, you have to slap the trigger. If you want to go real fast, if you want to get sub 20-second times, you have to slap. You know, there's going to be times when you're going to slap the trigger, no doubt.
You get a good sight picture each time?
Yeah, just every single time.
Well, good luck, Gene.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Gary, let's go. Stand by. Ready?
This is the light rifle pop and flop, as it's called, the LRPF. What we have here are 14 pins, steel pins, to be knocked down by a rifle. Now you can use pretty much any rifle. You can use a .223 or a .308 or almost anything in between. However, the pins are quite thick and quite heavy, and it takes a little bit more than even than a .22 Magnum or sometimes a .223 to knock them down, unless you get a direct hit. You start here with your weapon loaded, no more than 30 rounds. The weapon's held at port arms, and you're not allowed to use a sling at the start. You can sling after the buzzer starts, but you can't sling until the buzzer starts. Start here. From here you shoot all 14 targets. Now if you look out there, you'll see some black pins. The black pins are just, shall we say, to confuse the enemy. You don't shoot the black pins. Is there a penalty for shooting black pins? No. It'll be your own penalty, a time penalty. You can shoot them if you want to, but nobody really does. They're just out there actually because they're extra pins, and when we need them, we paint them white and paint a bad one black. Having shot the 14 pins, which is quite a feat, because it's very difficult, those far pins especially, you have to get center hits to make them good. Then you run over here with your weapon, with your finger out of your trigger guard, and you place your weapon, your rifle, down on this table with the safety on, muzzle down range. You then pick up a hand grenade, another one of our practice grenades, like this, and you throw it at those two circles. If you get it inside the circle through the hoops there, you'll get 10 seconds off. If you hit the outside, the steel, you get 5 seconds off. After having thrown the grenade, you pick up your pistol, you shoot the two steel bowling pins out there about 30 feet, knock those down, and then you hit the stop plate, which stops the electronic timer. And that's the LRPF. This has also come a long way. In the original days, you had to run out there and set up little bowling pins all over, little stands, and it took about a minute and a half or so. It was another very strenuous event. So we made it a little easier for some people who just don't like to huff and puff, and it has been more popular. This is the LRPF.
Ready? It's an AR with a wrench model. It's an AR.
How many times you come to Second Chance?
This is my first time and I love it. I'm coming back next year, without a doubt.
Great. Did you shoot well today?
I didn't have too bad a day. Not bad at all, really.
But you came here for other things other than shooting, is that correct?
Pardon me?
You came here for things other than shooting?
No, not at all.
Just shooting? Not drinking beer and throwing water balloons?
No beer drinking, no anything else.
Yeah, fine.
She says, come on, I've heard a lot of stories. It's just never going to happen. And she says, ah, you should watch. Snaps his fingers once. My God, it goes down an inch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Because they put on the stock.
Yeah.
That's
So,
when
when you would see where that gun is going to be sitting during the fall with ducks, geese, and water up to here. It's a wonderful night. Hello, everybody.
Shootable gun.
Are we having a good time here at Second Chance, people?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic time.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Entire cow, as a matter of fact, and on Friday night we should have 600 pounds, from what I'm told. This has been cooking since early this morning, I would say.
Watch it!
Hey, that was a very instantaneous reaction. You saw that?
You see them knives come up? Wow!
Sometimes we do have the cattle attack after a vicious roast.
Really, just a natural ability. When you come from Chicago, it's a natural ability. That and spending many hours with the Lord, really. You would believe this is the same way they section a heart.
Make you feel at home.
Oh, we're doing this on film. Jesus Christ, what's the matter with you?
Now, you actually get hungry while you're on autopsy?
Yeah, really, I'll tell you, I've seen them go through liver and sit there and think it was roast. It looks the same. Can't really tell.
You feel at home?
Okay, babe. Fork. Somebody grab my fork.
Yeah, knife with that. You guys coming from, what's that, NPD? What is that?
Niles.
Niles what?
Ohio.
Niles, Ohio. Policeman? You come up here, this is strictly training, right? Serious business up here.
Yeah.
Right? No fun, anything like that. What do you have in your cups there? Huh? What is that? And your training?
Milk. Pepsi-Cola.
Milk, oh.
Not good.
What's your favorite?
Favorite? The cow. The cow. Beef.
The cow, right?
Yeah.
And how you guys shooting?
Going in.
We are. That's it.
We're breaking guns and generally not doing too good.
Well, you're enjoying the food?
Oh yeah. We're enjoying the shoot, too.
Yeah?
That's fun.
What's the best thing about the shoot?
The pin setters.
The weapons. Timers ready.
How many years have you come to Second Chance?
This is my third year. Mm-hmm.
How do you like it?
Oh, I like it. It's a lot of fun. You always look forward to seeing the people that you've seen in the years previous.
And where do you live now?
I live in Omaha, Nebraska.
And you came all the way up here for the shoot?
Yeah, you can't hardly pass up getting paid vacation from where I work and coming and making some fun money here.
What's the best thing about working at the shoot?
Just the people. I think I really look forward to seeing everybody that I've seen before. You make a lot of good friends. It's just fun talking to everybody.
We're talking about the girls or the shooters?
The shooters, of course.
Jerry, you're leading now. This is about the end of the shoot as far as the 5-pin goes. And what's your score?
I have a 19-3.
19.3, and you seem to be in #1 position. You think it's going to hold?
Always can be someone come in and...
Well, it looks pretty good at this stage. I think all the top shooters have shot. What's your secret?
Mostly just, all it amounts to is just sight alignment and trigger control. Just watch your sights and go across the table.
How long have you been shooting, Jerry?
I've been shooting a 45 in IPSC for 2 years.
2 years?
I started 2 years this past April, so.
Well, you've done pretty well for a guy who just started. A lot of people here have been shooting for 10, sometimes 15, 20 years and haven't done as well as you.
I started shooting handguns when I was 13 years old, and it was just all mostly blinking with 22s. And a couple years ago, I had a fella come up and asked me about shooting combat, and I went to a match and watched it, and I decided I have to try this, and it's just going on from there.
Well, you shoot a lot of other matches, I imagine.
Mostly IPSC. I like some steel, and last year I came out, this was the first bowling pin shoot I was to, and it's a lot of fun. It's difficult.
Would you say it's more difficult than the IPSC type stuff?
Yeah, the pins are smaller. You can't hose them like you can the paper targets and get away with it. It's, you have to shoot a little more precise.
What kind of gun do you use?
I have a government model. Steve Nastoff built up for me. It's his new Super Comp design, and it works real well.
We take a look at it?
Sure.
Just hold it up there, that's right. This is a Nastoff compensator?
Mm-hmm. He cuts about 3/4 of an inch off the slide. It's got a little longer comp. It has about a 5 3/8 inch barrel, and it's his newest design he's come out with. And I've shot a lot of weapons, and I feel right now at this point this is probably about the best on the market.
What type of ammo do you use?
For this type of match, I'm using 200 grain spear hollow points, and I'm putting 6.3 of 231 behind it.
6.3.
Wow. It's about equivalent to a major load for 45 in IPSC, about 875 feet per second.
Well, when you go up to the line there, now with your record of having come in, was it second last year?
Mm-hmm.
Are you nervous when you get up there?
I was nervous. I felt the pressure. It's hard to deal with sometimes, but I guess it just takes some matches. You have to shoot matches in order to overcome it a little bit. I don't think anybody can totally overcome it. Sometimes you can use it to shoot in favor of you, and sometimes it can get the best of you.
Well, what do you do to prepare yourself mentally before you shoot?
I picture each pin on the table. I picture my sight being on each pin and squeezing the trigger, and it's going straight off the back. I go to sleep thinking about that. When I wake up in the morning, I'm trying to drill it into my subconscious. And whenever you're under pressure, what helps me is I rely on that, because when it comes up, when you pull the gun up to start shooting, I seem to be able to pull it out of the back of my mind and be able to go through with it.
And when you get up to the line, are you still thinking of those things?
Yeah, I try to forget that there's anyone else around me. I just isolate myself, try to isolate myself in my own position. There's no one else there, and most of the time it works. Sometimes, I'm still trying to master it, same as the shooting.
What's the most important thing a new shooter should know about shooting?
I would say starting out, practice bullseye shooting. Sight alignment and trigger control. That's the whole name of the game in a shoot. No matter what you're doing, you have to get that drilled into you. And you just keep shooting more and more. Your speed will come.
How old are you, Jerry?
25.
Okay, well, congratulations, Jerry. Looks like you won. We hope you have, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody back.
you guys do?
Not too good for first year, but we're having a hell of a good time.
That's right.
Came down from Montreal.
Yeah. Are you guys policemen?
No, we're civilians.
Can you shoot up there?
Do we shoot up there? Yes.
Yeah,
but nothing like this.
Nothing like this,
Yeah.
no.
It's a little more restricted, but as long as you don't have any record or anything like that, you get your permits, there's no problem at all. It's just it's gun registration, which you don't have down here. You know?
And where are you on the board there?
Near the bottom. Easy to find.
6, 7. Page 8 of 9 pages.
How about you?
Around there too, really, a couple above them. We shoot close.
But do you feel disappointed?
No.
Say again?
You feel disappointed?
No. I mean, well, we came here with great ideas, but a week or two before we got here, we got some real live pins to practice on. And then we found out that we weren't going to do what we thought we were going to do. And of course, when we got here, we got the shakes and everything. But it's fun. I'm going to bring back my family next year.
Yeah, I'm going to come back again and bring my girlfriend, anybody I can who wants to go.
Well, what would you like to say to Richard Davis about this whole affair? What would you like to tell Richard Davis about this whole affair?
It's fantastic. Thanks a million. I'll be back.
I'm putting suntan lotion on here. It's not really that hot or sunny today, but the thing is, I just love to touch myself.
We should have the upper soon start pushing the teams.
And grasp your weapons.
Safety off.
Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Yes.
Pretty well.
Thank you.
Have you practiced a lot?
No, little.
How long have you been shooting?
Oh, about a year and a half, maybe 2.
Well, that's pretty good for a year and a half or 2. May I ask how old you are?
Pretty old.
You just decided to start shooting?
Well, my husband was shooting some PPC and they had some powder puff matches in California. It was kind of fun.
What else do you shoot nowadays?
Nothing else.
Just bowling pins?
Just for Dave, yeah.
How many years have you come here?
This is our second.
How do you like it?
Just fine. Last year it looked like fun, so this year Dave gave me a birthday present, unbeknownst to me, of a sign-up, so...
Oh, really?
No choice, right?
Well, you're doing wonderfully.
Oh, thanks. I missed my second one both times.
You did fine.
Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Stand next to Michael J. I like to stand next to Michael J because I look so skinny. All right. See, come nuclear war, world famine, all you skinny people are going to be the first ones to go. Me and Jay are going to rule the world.
I start on the left and go across. I don't look back, I just shoot one shot at each pin. If I miss one, she'll come across the other way and pick it up.
I start on the right and go towards the center and just keep heading across, and anything that's left
Okay, good times here on the high end. 7 through 10, all look pretty good.
Good, sweet. Do that again.
Okay, reload on 2, 5, and 11. I think they're closing registration on that right now, if they haven't already. All set then, 2, 5, and 11. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
We're shooting high.
Okay, slide on over to 3, 6, and 12.
time.
Okay, 3, 6, 12, stuff them on in. 3, 6, and 12, ready to go. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, slides back, clear them out. Make sure I'll clear it out, slides back, summer's open.
We try.
And the girls go forward and set them up.
My God, she says, I can't believe this. This of all my years of doing this, this is fantastic. And I guess we can do it. Let's go to it.
What are you guys doing over here?
Talk to the main
We're
guy.
just waiting on Richard here to give him a little bath when we get a
It's
chance.
time to get even with Richard. For his bird bombs, his fireworks, and his wisecracks. Now it's our turn.
Well, what is it you're going to do to him?
We're going to water bomb him. We'll get the signal.
And what is that piece of artillery you got there?
This is a cruiser balloon launcher. That's guaranteed to go.
That wiring first, not gonna give me any problems.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know, I think he's just got a 12 gauge and he's piping it right at him. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Down 4 degrees.
Okay, Bruce MacArthur, what have you got here?
This is a replica of an 1840 mountain howitzer. They were very popular during the Indian Wars. The bore size is a little smaller. It's 3 inch. The original were 4 5/8. Sure. This is zinc. It weighs 3 3/4 pounds. When they're cast in lead, they weigh 6 1/4 pounds.
Got another one of those?
Fire.
Got 2 more of these?
Right there. Right there in the box.
Bruce, you say this is a replica?
No, it's a replica. It's one I made.
You made this camera?
Yes. About 18 years ago. And it has a range of 1,450 yards.
What do you use for propellant?
Black powder, 1FG, half a pound.
Half a pound of powder?
Yes. Here's the powder charge right here.
And how accurate is it?
Well, once the gun's laid in at this range, a person should be able to fire about a 4-foot group.
A 4-foot group. At 1,600 yards?
No, this is 450 yards. Yeah.
Off to the right, you see that crack with the green?
What else have we got here?
Well, we have the Manville over here, which is originally developed as a tear gas gun. And they were made in Pontiac, Michigan, back in the late 20s. This is my 50 caliber rifle that I built about 4 years ago. This is an M2 Browning, heavy barrel. John?
Big ones.
Who's Browning?
This is Richard Davis's Browning. Here.
Look, I think Richard wants to show us something. Juggling cannonballs. Ladies and gentlemen, a first.
All right. Okay, this is a Dogs of War gun called the Manville 25, which they declassify, is now currently classified from a weapon to a non-weapon, because there hasn't been any ammo made for it since the 1930s. However, it's called a 25 millimeter gun, but the 26.5 millimeter flare cartridges fit in here real nice. And we'll fire a couple of these here. Now here they come. Uh-oh. There goes one.
This is an MG34. It's 8 millimeter Mauser. It's a World War II German machine gun, known as Hitler's Saw. Very high cyclic rate on it. This is a 1918 A2 Browning. The selective fire on it was slow and fast. The 1918s had semi-on full auto. It's 3006.
Okay, and over here?
This is an M60 machine gun, standard U.S. issue, 308.
Okay, we'll take a look at the 50 caliber. Rich, you want to give a introduction to your 50 caliber?
Huh? Oh, hello there. I'm John Moses Browning. I invented. Oh no, I can't lie. I can't carry this faucet on anymore. I'm really just all I invented was second chance body armor. This is a Browning machine gun. I give a long story about it, but Middle of World War I, John Browning, just before World War I rather, John Browning went to the Army and says, hey, look at Mr. Army, I've got this really neat gun. You just keep pulling the trigger and these 30 caliber bullets keep coming through and it just keeps shooting all day long. And the Army says, get out of here, Browning, you jerk, we don't need that. World War I comes along. Army comes around, Mr. Browning, about that really neat gun you had, machine gun you called it, we'd like to buy a lot. All you got, please, right away. So, then John Browning comes to the U.S. Army and says, hey, remember me? I'm the guy that made this 30 caliber gun that you really like so much. I got an idea for a 50 caliber gun, half-inch bullet. It's really neat, and it'll go through like real heavy sandbags, and if you should happen to find a piece of steel an inch thick on your battlefield, it'll go through that. And the Army says, get out of here, Browning, asshole, we don't need anything like that. And then...
That's exactly what they said, isn't it?
That's what they said. Anyway, then of course the thing called a tank came along, and they got inch-thick steel plates and a 30 caliber, even 30-06 armor piercing wouldn't quite make it through an inch-thick plate of steel. And the Army says, gee, if we only had something, we'd go crashing right through an inch-thick plate of steel. Oh yeah, remember Browning had that idea? So they give him the go-ahead and the money to make the Browning machine gun, and he actually got the first gun going the day after World War I ended. And then they made a few and they said, okay, we don't need these anymore. Then of course World War II came along and it made them by the thousands, and all around the planet here there's big half-inch holes going real deep and all kinds of things. World War II ended. So he says, okay, Browning, cut out these crappy guns, we don't need these 50 caliber guns anymore. Then of course Korean War came along, he says, let's start making these Brownings again, you know, they're really neat. They tried making substitutions for them, an M85 machine gun didn't work. Korean War's over, they said, well, that's it. Goddamn Browning, let's get rid of it, you know, don't need any more. Vietnam comes along. Let's start making Brownings again, you know. And truly, probably this gun will be in service 100 years, in active service 100 years after it's first invented, because it's a very nice, practical gun. Puts a half-inch hole very deep, and you get a variety of ammunition, which right now our first ones we're going to spot in now is a belt of mostly pure tracer. First with that, and after that we got some more tracer. Then we get into what we call fruit salad here, where you've got incendiary rounds, and then a real bright tracer round with these blue tips are a pure incendiary round, which kick up a lot of sparks and things. So we're going to load this sucker up, I guess.
What are we going to do with tonight?
What do you shoot with the Browning 50 caliber?
Any damn.
Just about anything you want to. It's kind of tough linking these by hands. It's important to get the bullet all the way in. So I'm not getting this one in.
Hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, hit it with a hammer, right?
That's how the Indians used to do it, right by hand.
Yeah. Pioneers just link their 50 calibers by hand.
My wife makes me by hand.
If you're firing this, the link with two sides, with two loops, is the one that goes into the gun first.
What are we doing here today?
Oh, we're going to shoot down there.
Anything that moves?
Okay, guys, move back. We're going to fire down in there. One brave guy staying right in front of a cannon there.
These guys are concussion prone, move over. That's why they respected Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, might be a good idea, Mike.
Bruce, a little high.
Let's slide back and get it.
The hell with all that armor.
With that skunk
Yeah,
roll out there, for Christ's sake. I saw a bunch of trees. Use a better wad. I think we got enough cows for tomorrow.
Right on your way, Mike.
I've got a Gore-Tex shirt you can rip up.
It's burning full blast. Fire truck. We got a little fire truck just in case things get crazy.
And I thought my 50 caliber was a pain in the ass.
Nice fit.
Look at the tapeworm he's got. Jesus.
Some guys over there did. Better get that. You better let me for guns. Yeah, he's just get out of your way. First can of stay away. You can bless that? Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a few. That's
You want another one out of the same can, didn't you?
The only thing is, it's hard to see for traffic.
We'll go to John
We're going to
Wayne.
move you over to here. Sorry, we're going to move you over to this. Leave it here.
Hey, Gary? Yeah. Tear me off a piece of that cloth.
Here, you want a hanky?
Are you guys going to fire from these positions now? Or we're going to move up once the cannon.
As soon as the cannon's done, he's going to fire.
They'll find it. You'll be able to aim this one better.
I'll be able to aim this one. How high was I?
Well,
We're just below the crest of the hill.
Doesn't it look like Yosemite Sam? I'll get that wonderful weapon. I'm a Hessian when ain't got no aggression.
Wait! Too late now. Too late. Ears!
Here's Johnny.
I got him covered. All right. Good job. Good job.
See that? It skipped right into it.
Yeah. Good. Way to go.
I'll beat Richard on this thing.
You're in a photograph. Move. No, not down. Oh, jeez.
Jeff, everybody move back a little bit. We can have a straight line here.
What are we going to shoot at?
Shoot at the fire. To the right of the fire. To the right of the fire.
Boy, this thing stinks, Bruce.
That's what I call it.
Dynamite!
Hit that bright fire. Dynamite burn it.
Yeah, bright fire dynamite. Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I want to shoot it.
Which one, the cannon?
All of them. Just let me shoot it. Just let me at it.
Are you a gun kind of girl?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I was at 50 caliber all day today. I was having a ball.
What do you own of your own?
Everything. H&Ks, 223s, Mini 14s, 45s. Everything you can think of. Everything except the 50 caliber. They won't let me take it to the range.
Tax dollars at work.
Way to go.
No wonder they say
get him up there.
What's the matter, Bruce?
Gunfire does the same things to me certain colognes do.
Do you prefer one brand of powder over another?
Definitely.
What's your favorite?
231. Usually that works out just fine, but it's gunpowder, cologne, you know, that sort of thing, you know.
And what kind of work do you do?
I don't. I just do this.
to have a small but tasteless fireworks display. These are some various commercial Class B fireworks. Class C is the common firecrackers you buy in the store, Tennessee or whatever. Class A is dynamite. This is Class B. This is commercial fireworks. This, for example, is a 4-inch diameter flash salute. It just goes up and goes bang. Some of the things you can do wrong is to, for example, put this thing upside down. You think it would go in like this. It doesn't. It goes in like this. The fuse runs along the side here, catches the propellant. Only about the bottom 1/4 inch is actually propellant. The rest is all explosive warhead. So we'll drop a 4-inch down here. Another thing you can do wrong, and I've already checked for this, is to have water in the bottom of your tubes. This can degrade your propellant and cause the shell to not reach its full height and explode with the sparks showering all over the ground. Yet another thing you can do wrong is to put, for example, a 4-inch shell like this. This is a 4-break shell. If you drop this down a 5-inch tube, the propellant gas, which is down here in the gunpowder, would then only propel the shell a short distance out of the tube. So instead of getting a swoosh, boom effect, you'd get whoop, 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 bam, and sparks would come back all over the pit area and all over yourself, and probably light off all your other fireworks, and it'd be a really great show for everybody except you. So we're going to slide this guy right down here, nice and snugly down a 4-inch tube. And this is a Japanese-made 5-inch shell. These other shells are made in America. Japanese make good shells, except they cheap out in the fuses, which kind of is irritating to me. This is a 5-inch diameter mum. We're going to slide this down here. The darn fuse doesn't reach all the way down. So I'm going to have to pull it. I'm going to have to light this thing and then drop it. I normally have a blowtorch to light this stuff with, but we're just going to use matches tonight because I don't have my blowtorch. And I guess we'll light one, okay? This is another set. This is 3-inch diameter shells. This will break twice and explode. Same thing here and there. This is a pure just flash salute. This would just go up and go bang. In fact, I'm going to maneuver these around a little bit here. We have the pretty break stars and the bangs. After I do a show around here, I do like 4 different cities around here for the fun of it. A non-profit corporation that does this. The men come to me afterwards and say, hey, good show, but let's have some more of those big thundering bangs. And the women come up to me, including my beautiful wife, and say, gee, can't you have more pretty ones and less of the loud ones? So it's always a quandary. I always just hold my head out and say, okay, we'll have more of both, just give me the money. This is a 5-inch shell here, American made. This is a nice pretty one. It's blue and silver. The rest of these are a mixture of pretty break ones and loud ones.
I must report something, ladies and gentlemen. Everything at Second Chance is not just going along hunky-dory. We do have some problems. There have been incidents. One of those incidents happened repeatedly to Mr. Gary Morgan, who is our key grip for this production. Mr. Morgan, let's describe what's happening to you while you stayed in a little rustic cabin by the lake.
I was attacked.
Tell us about it.
And worse than that, my roommate, helpless in his room, was attacked by an unnamed person.
What sort of attack was this, you think?
I'm not really sure.
Well, give us some of the idea of what clues do you have as to the nature of this attack?
They seem to be exchanging body fluids.
I imagine this happens in the wee hours of the evening, is that right?
Yes.
And you bar the door and hide under the bed?
Yes, I'm very careful about letting that attacker near me.
But your roommate is not as lucky or as prudent.
No.
And what fate befalls him each night?
The same fate.
Yes. And what noises do you hear emanating from that room next to yours?
What appear to be screams for help.
Have you ever responded?
No.
A scream for help could be a lot of different ways.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
give me an example. What sort of scream might it be?
Oh God, oh God. I heard that scream.
Might that not be a prayer?
They were crying to their gods for help, as I interpret it.
I also hear there was sort of grunting noises. Is this true?
There was some type of struggle.
Now, do you think they were maybe doing aerobic exercises?
It might have been some form of aerobics.
And now I heard there was one clue in the evening. Is that correct?
There was an article of clothing left behind by the attacker.
And what was that article of clothing?
A straw hat with a black band.
Ladies and gentlemen, a straw hat with a black band. Be on the lookout for a straw hat with a black band. You could be next.
She says, wait a minute, though, one more thing. I don't want to, get injured here myself. How do you make it go down? He says, not the very. I've got it trained again to make it go down. Every time I'm going like this on my chest, it is going down an inch.
We'll get it.
All right. Good. This is a good team.
Okay. Normally we don't have them that passionate.
Hose them off! Hose them off!
Stand by.
You ready?
There you go.
Now what's going to happen?
It's gonna go
Wondrous things.
Just
Do I
push
just
your
press
thumbs
it?
down.
Just push them down. It won't hurt you.
I know, but is it going to
I'm
go
gonna
all
bite.
those?
No, it'll stay right where it is.
All those bullets?
As long as you hold your thumbs down.
As long as you keep your thumbs down, it'll shoot.
Can I aim it?
Yep.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Is that right?
Keep going.
6. I got it shrunk an inch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. She says, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
How's it going? You getting tired? How many days you been doing this?
Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready. Okay, not bad. Slide on over to your next table. Stuff them on in there. Okay, this be your third table. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Denny, you shot a 3/8.
Good.
That's pretty good. How'd you do it?
How? Ran 9 tables and one finally went together.
Well, what's the secret of shooting fast like that?
About 7 years. That's the 7th year up here. a matter of finally putting it together.
The best you've done?
No, well, no, I'm just sitting 5th on the main pin right now and 5th last year, 3rd year before.
Where does that place you now on the 9 pin?
Should be 2nd or 3rd depending on a tiebreaker.
Well, that's great. What advice would you give to new shooters about shooting fast like that on the 9 pin?
Well, it's hard to give advice on the 9 pin because it's just a matter of shooting it as many times as it takes to get one to come together. You can't be consistent on that like you can on the others.
So listen to this. Sunday morning, about 3 months later, the phone rings. It's Broad's in Youngstown. Yeah. I says, Steve ain't here.
Send your copy to Nastoff's Custom Guns, Youngstown, Ohio. Okay, grasp your weapons. Timers ready. Guns on the rail. Shooters ready.
Show it to us.
Timers ready. Guns on rail. Shooters ready.
Very good, very good.
Thanks for the offer. Close your legs, for God's sake. This is something remarkable. This is Dave Wheeler.
You're being interviewed?
Right, you're being interviewed, Dave. This is Dave Wheeler, comes to our match all the time. And I saw him with this beautiful girl here at the match. I says, oh, Dave, this your girlfriend? He says, well, no. I said, oh, it's your wife. Oh, excuse me, it's your wife? He says, no. And I said, well, she came to the match with you, right? She says, yeah. And what are you? What's your relationship with Dave Wheeler?
His ex-wife.
You're his ex-wife.
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
And 2 years in a row you've been here. Now, at first this floored me. Then one simple fact hit me. You're both from California, right?
Right.
Oh. Explains it all.
Were they sufficiently humiliated?
Guns on rail. Shooters ready.
That was 6, wasn't it? Yeah.
You got a 3.5 as fastest run of those.
We just couldn't click.
Oh.
One of us kept one, I guess.
What's your fastest time in a 2-man so far here?
3.4.
3.4. So the 3.5 is nothing to you.
No, we're looking for a 2.
Hey, Gary, ask Richard if you can use an 8-inch revolver in a 4-inch event if it only can fire 4 rounds before reloading.
Okay. Okay, Diane says we can take shooters now. And for tomorrow, we're going to take a question, Gary.
In the 4-inch event,
Hey, Gary, is it okay if I, you ask a common question, it's okay if I repeat the question for everybody? It's okay? Well, the answer is, No, just because you've had one homosexual experience does not mean that's necessarily the way you have to be. Just try to forget about it and lead a normal life.
Pardon?
Which colors are which?
Okay. Your red silver is armor-piercing incendiary tracer. Your straight blue tip is straight incendiary, and your silver tip is armor-piercing incendiary.
No ball?
No ball. It's all incendiary.
Do it.
This is Mrs. Davis, the mother of the famous Richard Davis, and this is Pat Davis, the sister of the famous Richard Davis.
I made 5,000 cookies for the shoot this year.
5,000 cookies? What types of cookies?
Mostly chocolate chip, also icebox, oatmeal, applesauce spice, and peanut butter.
And what's the most popular?
Oh, definitely chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip?
With nuts.
5,000 cookies?
5,000
Have you given them all out now?
No, we give out put out 500 a day, and they go real fast.
Are people hoarding them, you think?
No, they're eating.
We've got lots of bullet mugs, souvenir
Now,
bullet
these are
mugs.
actual bulletproof mugs, aren't they?
Well, they're bullets that have been shot at the shoot.
You can see the bullets stuck here on the side of the mug.
Uh-huh.
Are these popular items?
They don't go, yes, very popular.
And how much does that sell for?
$6.
And how much do you pay for it?
We don't know.
Well, what do you think of Richard Davis, your son, and your brother creating all this nonsense?
Well, we think he's marvelous, naturally. At the beginning, 11 years ago, we didn't think this thing even had a chance of going, but all of a sudden it just, every year it grew and grew and grew.
And why has he been so successful?
Because he's a genius.
And where does he get that from?
From me.
It's coming out with a new combination gun. It's a combination of right guard and break free for people who carry guns and shoulder holsters.
This is Richard's party, and Richard Davis from Second Chance puts on one heck of a party, as you can see.
Okay, in case you haven't been here before, how this works, we have special prizes for 144th place. We have a 144. That's really gross. We have 44 black powder, which you don't need a license for, just to give that to you. And for 91st place, got an HB 91. For 223rd place is a Mini 14 in caliber 223. And for 357th place, we got a Ruger 357. And if my wife and our crew ever get over here, we'll start giving them out. We also have some secret prizes in among the lesser stuff. I won't say what it is, but I will be making offers here for various lesser prizes. Okay, and first place, number one, the song, the survey times the first place. The first place winner this year was entry number 13, Jerry C. Barnhart. Yay! After applause right now, I'll give his time. His best time was 3.3. His worst time was 8.1. I told friends to go up and tell Jerry that hey, Rich changed the rules so you can't throw out your worst time. He goes, ah! His total time for the best is for five tables. His best 5 tables, a total time of 19.3. Come on up, Jerry. Here, yeah, Jerry. Another thing, all you guys who win prizes, don't shake hands with me too hard. My wrist really is ripped. 10 is a rip in my wrist here, and it really hurts. San Francisco style. Jerry next will have his name on. He gets to hold the Magaport trophy here for a year. 19.3. That's averaging less than 4 seconds per run. Pretty not fast. A lot of other finishes have, say the winners have a 3-second time or something. But here we have times are slightly longer. It's much tougher to get a better time, second chance. Yes, it does. He gets a golden belt buckle. Means you can rule North America. He gets a golden belt buckle from I think P&B, isn't it? And we got 18 safety spikes and a couple of speed loaders, so you can actually go really go bonkers in the bar some night.
Richard, go ahead.
And now we drop all the way down about 10th place is our first OSS shooter. Actually finished 11th place, Robert Givarge. Robert Givarge. Fastest time was 4 flat. Robert is now a Master Blaster. He comes up here, then he's going to be a Master Blaster. Very consistent shooting. Look at these times here. His best time was 4 flat. His worst time was 6-4. Very consistent. Your wife tells me that's 2 years 4. No. Go up there and consistently pick out a prize. Anything you want. There we go. Yeah, you get a silver belt buckle also.
The same one?
Okay, also, next one. Not real hard, not real hard.
Hold it open.
Okay, and second place actual. Hey, Bingley, come on back up here tonight. You want that knife or you want anything else? Oh, anything else you want? Hey, Bingley, tell you what, wait a minute. I'll get $50 for that knife. I got a horse number $10. Well, you got either one of those. You can have either one of those knives, or you can have this $50 bill. What? Can't open it up. 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 Right? Either one of the knives.
Which one? What hand are you? Door number 3.
First
one, first choice.
$50? Wait, let's get one more guy up here. Hold it, dude. Philip Hansen, come on up. Philip Hansen here? I don't know. I think you're switching on it. Oh, big camera. Now, let's put it down there. There's pictures now, please. Okay, take it, come on. You can have the knife or you can have $50. Back side.
Back to money, Phil.
Okay.
Door number 3.
Okay, open them up. Open up, see what you got in there.
Good,
A $100 bill on that night. Oh, okay. This is a special award that the girls give out. Where's the trophy, girls? Oh, get it up there. Okay. This is for, y'all see this here. The sheet up here. And the award says horniest guy at Second Chance Shoot. This is awarded by all timers.
I've got 2 healthy sons there, so hopefully they'll be able to carry on. And I hope it isn't something that's just, trampled in the dust of history and forgotten. Because what we've got up here is, something really special and good. And it shows shooting off to be a sport as well as a defensive thing. I always hope it can go on for ever and ever, for tens of years into the next century. And she says, well, let's get it on. So he goes, sure, 1, 2. He says, one more thing, you mind? Got a little kinky thing here? You mind I play a little Jewish music while we do it? She says, well, sure, I don't mind. He says, yeah, I got a little cassette right here. We'll play a little Jewish music while we do it. She says, sure, I've a lot of kinkier stuff than that. No problem at all. 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, hits the cassette, gets on a girl, the music comes on. If I were a rich man, hey!